Okay, so the first question is evaluate. Okay, evaluate. And because I know sometimes people do not exactly understand the meaning of a certain word, I'm always going to try to tell you basically the meaning of a certain expression in math. Sometimes I feel that the worst thing in math is that you can do the math, but you have no idea what the question wants or what the problem says. Okay, so I'm always going to help you out with that. So evaluate means what? Come on, find the what? Yeah, look, evaluate. The word value is in the word evaluate. So evaluate means just find the value, which means you have to get a number at the end. You have to get a value. You have to get a value at the very end, okay, of each fraction calculation. Whenever possible, which means it might be needed or it might be not. Whenever possible, leave your answer as a what? Fraction in. What does lowest terms mean? Who knows what does it mean to say a fraction in lowest terms? Safe zone. Just raise your hand if you want to answer. Bahram, go for it. Say again. Simplified. Thank you very much. So everyone, let's actually write on top of this the word simplified. This is called a simplified fraction. So simplified. Simplified. Simplified form. Simplified form. Okay? Okay, simplified form. Thank you, Baron. Okay, so let's look at the first one. What's the operation happening between these two fractions? The operation. Say again. Addition, exactly. So what is the main thing you need to do whenever you add or subtract? You don't need to do it when you multiply or add. I mean, you could, but you don't need to. But when you add or subtract, you have to do it. What is the name of the process or the thing you have to do? Come on. Grade 8, grade 9, grade 7 even. What do you need to do when you add or subtract any two or three or four, but at least any two fractions? Every common what? Common denominator. And the denominator is always what? The top or the bottom one? Always the bottom one. So what's my denominator here? 4. What about this one? Okay, what's always the easiest way to get the common denominator between two numbers? The easiest way, like the most direct way. What do you do with the numbers? We multiply them. Thank you. So that means what? The 4 has to multiply the what? Oh, by the way, yeah. Did buy laser pointers yesterday. All right. So the 4, Abdullah, the 4 multiplies the what? And the 7 multiplies. The way I always like to show it is this. Basically, on it, you just write what? Times 7. And this one is times what? Is that all you do? No. The biggest thing that people forget is they forget to also change the what? Change the what? The top. But here's my question. Is this 3 going to multiply a 7 or a 4? How many people say 7? How many people say 4? Why is it 7? Why does it have 7 is correct. Why does it have to be 7? Yes, Avery. Exactly. However you change the bottom, you have to change the top. Awesome. So go ahead. 3 times 7 here. And 3 times 4 here. Okay. So now we write equals two new fractions. I mean, they look new, but they are technically the same thing, just in what? Bigger form or bigger numbers. Okay. 3 times 7 is how much? 20, 21. 4 times 7, 28, with another 28, because that's how we build the system. What's 1 times 4? 4. Okay. When you add fractions, do you add everything? What do you only do? You only add the what? The tops. Do you ever add the bottoms? No, you never do anything to the bottoms. The bottoms are common, and they stay that way the whole time. So your final answer is what? Your final answer is 25 out of 28. Do you think we can simplify this? By the way, what does simplify mean? Find a number that they both do what to it? Multiply or divide? Find a number that these two things what? Divide. No, divide. Can you tell me what divides 25? What's the number that all numbers divide? No. All numbers. 1. Obviously, 1 is there, but it's useless. Okay, what's next? What does 25 also divide other than 1? All numbers ending in 5 or what? Or 0 divide what number? Think about it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. They all divide what? 5 or 0. What else divides 25 as well? Come on, the biggest number that 25 divide is what? 25 itself. Every number divides itself. Okay, what divides 28? No, always start with what? 1. And then what? 2, 4, 7. Keep going. What's half of 28? What's half of 28? Because every number divides its own half. 14. And once you reach the half, what's the next number? No, we already get the 7. What's the next number? 28 itself. Are there any common numbers between them except for 1? Nope. Which means what? Are we done? We are. Perfect. Check mark. Yes, go ahead, Barham. Here? Oh, 1 times 4. Remember, when you scale a number, you scale the top one as well. Okay. What's happening between these two fractions? Hint, they're placed in brackets. What's another way to understand brackets? Multiply. There's a multiplication sign in between. By the way, how many ways can you write multiplication sign? I mean, what's the famous one? The what? The x. What's another way to write multiplication? Aside, we have 3 ways. Brackets, x. What's the only remaining one? There's a thick dot in between. So you feel free to what? Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to make some space here. There we go. So I can put the dot, or sorry, the x, or the dot. I'm a big fan of the x. Just don't make it like a fancy x, because that's a variable x, now multiplication sign. Okay? All right. Are the denominators common? They're not. Do I need to make them common? What would be so bad about making denominators common when you multiply or divide? What's going to happen to the numbers? They're going to get what? They're going to get much bigger, which might be so much work at the end to make them what? Smaller and simplified. Whenever you multiply or divide, keep all the numbers the same. Okay, so let's look at this. How do you multiply fractions, though? Do you cross multiply or do you level multiply? Like, do you do the bottom from here by the top from here and the top from here by the bottom from here? Or do you multiply the 2 tops and the 2 bottoms? You do. What's up? Hi. Go on. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, بالstash. Right, بالbox. Sorry. So what do? Do we crisscross or do we just multiply tops and bottoms? Tops and bottoms. Okay. So what do you get to multiply 25 times? No problem. What do you get to multiply 25 times 9? 25 times 9. Come on. You can go ahead. You have cell phones and calculators. Go ahead, plug it in. I know the answer, but you can go ahead and find out. 200 and 225. What do you always get when you multiply a negative by a negative? Always. You always get what? You always get a positive. How about 12 times 10? Come on. Whenever you multiply a number by 10, what do you just add to the number? Another what? Another 0. So this basically becomes what? Equals, yep, 120 with a positive over. So we don't have to show it. Divided by, you said 225. Okay. Are those small or big numbers? Big numbers have the potential of going smaller. They end in 0 and 5. For sure, what do they divide? They divide 5. Great. No, they don't divide 0. Sorry, did you say 0? Who said? You never can divide by 0. Remember, everyone, if you ever try to divide by 0, look, it tells you cannot divide by 0. What other messages could you get on your machines if you try to divide by 0? Error, math error, invalid input. You can never divide by 0. Maybe you meant divide by 10. The problem is you can't also divide by 10. This one divides 10. Does this one divide 10? No, you will get a decimal. You get a 0.5. But you know they both divide 5. So how do I like to show it? I like to do this. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Okay, keep going. What's 20 divided by 5? Sorry, 120 divided by 5. No, 20, 24. 24. It's okay. By the way, no guesses. You have calculators, use them. 24. How about 225 divided by 5? 40 what? 45. Okay, look how smaller the number got. Okay, can you go further? Okay, let's see. What divides 24? 1, 2, 3, 4, not 5. No, before 12. 6, 8, 12. And once you hit the half, the next number is the what? Is the number itself, 24. What divides 45? 1. Does 2 work? No, because what do you call numbers like 45, 47, 49, 51? Numbers are either even or odd. 24 is even, so that's why I divide 2. 45 is odd, it doesn't divide 2. Does 45 divide 3? It does. Does anyone here know the trick to knowing how a number divides 3 no matter how big the number is? I always teach it. Does anyone remember? Everyone check this out. Give me a big 7-digit number. No, seriously, like give me 7 digits in any order you want. Go ahead. 7, 6, 3, 2, 8. Keep going. 2 more digits. 9, 4. I can tell you right now if this number divides 3 or if it doesn't. Do you know what the trick is? Add the digits. All right, let's do that. Let's start adding from this side. What's 7 plus 6? Come on. 7 plus 6. 13. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 plus 3. 16 plus 2. 18 plus 8. 26. 26 plus 9. 35. 35 plus 4. What did we get to? 39. Does 39 divide 3? Yes, it does. This whole number divides 3. Done. Yep. Sadly, these are the skills you should be taught in public school, but you have to wait until what? A good teacher comes along in grade 11 and tells you that, and you don't even have to keep guessing. Let's confirm. Let's write it down. What is it? 7, 7, 6, 3. Sorry, can't see. 7, 6, 3, 2. What? 8, 9, 4. Divided by what? 3. If it works, should I get a decimal or should I not get a decimal? I know my stuff. How could I screw this up so it doesn't divide 3? I should make the addition of the digit not divide 3 itself. Do you see what I mean? Everyone, check this out. What if I make this number? What if I make this number a 2? What's my addition now? What was my addition before? 39. I took it 1 down. So what's my addition now? 38. Does 38 divide 3? No, it doesn't. By the way, how can you prove that 38 itself does not divide 3? Add the digit of 38. What's 3 plus 8? What's 3 plus 8? Come on. 3 plus 8. No, not 12. 3 plus 8. Not 3 plus 9. 3 plus 8. What's 3 plus 8? 11. Does 11 divide 3? No. Again, why does 11 not divide 3? What's 1 plus 1 from 11? 2. Does 2 divide 3? You see, you can always break it down. It never fails. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Clear. 7, 6, 2, 2, 8, 9, 4. Divided by what? 3. I should get what now? An infinite decimal. By the way, whenever you divide 3, you either get a clean number or an infinite decimal with 3s or 6s. Done. That's it. Yeah, and it's so sad that you had to wait until 17 or 18 to learn this trick. Yeah. All right. So, does 45 divide 3? Come on, let's apply that trick. What's 4 plus 5? Perfect. Does 9 divide 3? Yeah. How about 24? What's 2 plus 4? 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4. 6. Does 6 divide 3? You see, the trick works whether with big digits or small digits. So let's divide both by 3. Go ahead. What's 24 divided by 3? Come on. 8. What's 45 divided by 3? Do you think you can go lower? Come on, what divides 8? It's only a few short list of numbers. Hey, man. What's your name? Sure. Dawood? Yeah, go. Do you think you can go lower than 8 over 15? Nope. What divides 8? Come on, everyone. What divides 8? 1, 2, 4, and you have also to say the first number and the last number. What divides 15? 1, 3, 5, and 15. Do they share any number but 1? Whenever they share just the 1, it's useless. We're done. Perfect. All right. Check. Okay, this one. What's happening here? Technically, are you adding or subtracting? What's in between the fractions? We are subtracting. Okay, fine. Let's keep saying we're subtracting. Again, when you subtract or add, what must happen to the denominators? They have to be what? They have to be common. What's common between 5 and 12? What do I get when you multiply 5 times 12? Anyone knows? Because that's the easiest way to get common denominators. What's 5 times 12? 60. 60. Great. Go ahead. 5 times 12. So this one multiplies 12, which means this one has to multiply the same thing. This one multiplies 5. which means this one multiplies the same thing. All right, let's keep going. Something minus something. As Abdullah said, 60 and 60. Okay, what's negative 2 times 12? Well, who cares about the negative? What's 2 times 12? Well, we care about the negative, but not now. 20. Do you need a pencil? Okay. 24, but with a what? With a negative. Okay. What's 1 times 5? All right. So technically, you're doing this. You're doing negative 24, negative 5, divided by what? What do you get when you add two negative numbers? No, you don't get positive. By the way, I love posing this question. This is the biggest mistake that people think. You can ask even grade 12 students or even first year college or university, and they will tell you what? Positive. You never get positive when you add two negatives. When do you only get positive? You do what with the negatives? When you multiply or, what's the opposite of multiplication? Or divide. But when you add them, think about it this way. What does minus mean? Did you gain or lose money? Whenever you see minus, you always think what? Gain or lose? What do you get when you lost $24 and then lost $5 more? Did you end up gaining $29 or losing $29? So what does that mean? When you add a negative on top of another negative, you just get a what? You just get another negative. That's what? That's a higher negative. Always remember that. Okay? So what's negative 24 and negative 5? With a what? With a negative 29. Yes. Sorry. Negative 29. Do you think you can go lower than this? Come on. Guess what? 29 only divides two numbers. 1 and what? 20. Do you know what we call numbers that only divides 1 and itself, like nothing in between? We call them what? Prime numbers. They do not have any dividers in between, which means what? Are we done? We are absolutely done, because 29 does not agree with the 60 on anything. Awesome. Check. Who remembers how we divide fractions? By the way, this is going to be a very common thing we need to know in all the units of this course. Who knows the trick to dividing fractions? I'll give you a hint. Are we big fans of dividing or more of multiplication? Which one do you like to do more? Multiplication. So we would like this to switch to multiplication. But I can't just do that. I have to pay a price. Who knows the price we pay when we switch that divide sign, division sign, to a multiplication sign? Who remembers how we divide fractions? Ahmed? You got what? You have to flip a fraction. My question is, which one? The first one or the second one? Always the second one. Always the one after the division sign. That's it. So that means what? This one stays the same. So we equal 4 over 3. And what does this become? Multiply. That's our reward. And what's the price we pay? Do we still keep the negative? No. No, no. Every. Yes, you do. All you do is what? All you do is what? Flip. You do not change the numbers. You just change the location of each number. Top becomes bottom. Bottom becomes top. So this becomes what? 15 divided by minus 2. And now we're back to what? Multiplying fractions. Top by top, bottom by bottom. What's 4 times 15? Come on. 4 times 15, or 15 times 4. 60 again. 60. What's 3 times negative 2? 3 times negative 2. 6 with a what? 6 with a negative. If I forget about this negative, does 60 divide 6? Or I should say, does 6 divide 60? Can you divide $60 by 6 people? Yeah, how much exactly does each person get, and you get nothing back? You get 10, but there's a what? There's a minus. What do you get when you divide a positive by a negative? Which one always wins? When you divide or multiply and they're different, which one always wins? The negative wins, or the minus wins. I like to say negative. So that's equal to what? Negative 10. Check. Done. You see? It's easy. You just have to put the whole thing as a story. That's how you teach math. You don't just show the work. You have to actually bring it to life. Okay? Awesome. All right. Does anyone have any questions so far? Again, it's recorded, so feel free. You're going to watch it whenever you want. But like, on the spot, feel free to always stop me and ask. Okay. Now let's take what? Take a look at these. Same processes, just what? More of them on the same line. Okay. What's the main rule to know which operations to do first? What did they teach you in grade like 8 or 9? 6 letters. What is it called? BEDMAS. What does B stand for? Brackets. What does E stand for? Exponents. What's another name for exponents? Like, what's an exponent? Where do you always know that you have an exponent? They could be letters, but in general, where does an exponent appear? With the same level as the number or on top of it? On top of it. Do I have any exponents here? But do I have brackets? Great. What's inside of the brackets? What operation is inside of the bracket? It's a subtraction, which means what? I have to deal with this part first. What do you get to? What do you need to do to subtract fraction? What do you have to make? Common what? Common denominator. Hey, what's the common between 5 and 2? 5 times 2 is 10. Go for it. Go ahead. So I'm not going to touch the 5/8. I can't yet. I have to do this now. 5 times 2. Oh, sorry. 5 times 2. 6 times 2. 2 times 10. Sorry, 2 times 5, I mean. 2 times 5. 5 times 5. Okay? We have enough space on the side, so let's keep going. By the way, how many people had math teachers who said, you cannot write more than one thing on the same line? Like you have to make a new line for every step. I am fine with what? I'm fine with a couple of steps on the same line as long as I have the space. Just don't make it too many steps, okay? So, am I going to touch this one or keep writing it as is for now? Yeah, as is. Okay, 5/8 divided by. Okay, 6 times 2 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 5 is 25. And 10 because I built it that way. Okay, let's keep going. Equals. Go ahead. What's up? No, no. Go. What was your question? Where did I lose you? You good? Okay. Again, I'm doing things step by step. I never like to rush. Divide by. I don't need a bracket now because I'm about to clean up. What's 12 minus 25? 12 minus 25. Come on. Obviously, you could say it doesn't make sense. You can't subtract 12 minus 25. Yes. Yeah, was it? You know what? 12 minus 25. 13 with a what? With a negative because the 25 is winning and it's negative. So negative 13 divided by 10. What do I do now? I'm dividing. I flip the first or the second one? This, the second one. You never flip the first. So 5/8 stays the same, and you get the reward of multiplication. And this becomes what? 10 over negative 13. Great, we're almost done. So what do I get here? 5 times 10 is 50. 8 times 13 is what? What's 8 times 13? Is negative 104. Do you think I can lower these numbers down? What common number definitely 80, sorry, not 80, I mean 50 and 104 divide? Are they odd or even numbers? 50 and 104? They're no. Think about everyone. Look, can you divide $50 by two people? Yes, you can, and you will get nothing back. Can you divide $104 by two people? Yes, any number ending in 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 is what? Is an even number. Go ahead, let's divide both by 2 to lower them down. What's the half of 25? I just said 25. What's half of 104? Nice, negative 52. Do you think you can go lower than this? What do you think? Okay, if you're going to say yeah, tell me what divides both. Moment, go ahead. What divides 25? But go ahead. So let's prove it. What divides 25? 1, 5, and 25 itself. This one doesn't divide anything common, but just what? 1. You're stuck. However, there is one last thing you have to do. No math teacher ever likes to see a fraction given as a final answer like this. Why do you think they're not big fans of leaving it in this form? There's only one reason. It's a small reason, but trust me, it's big. What do you think they like you to change? Just one last thing. Everything is good. Technically, if you leave this, you're mathematically correct. But math teachers are not going to like seeing it left like that. They need you to do one more thing. Can anyone take a guess? Again, I did not make the rules. I was born into them just like as much as you were. Avery, what's your suggestion? It is the negative. Why do you think they don't like where the negative is placed? Because it's placed where? At the what? At the what? At the bottom. No math teacher ever likes a fraction final answer with the negative at the bottom. You have two other locations you can put it. What do you think the first location is? If instead of the bottom number, you just put it with the what? With the top number. So one option you can do, everyone, one option you can do is this. Look, one option you can do is negative 25 divided by what? 52. Does anyone know the other option? Sorry, is that what? Okay, it's allowed because okay, technically, can you ever divide by a negative number of people? You see, math came from what? Actual physical stories. You can never divide by a negative number of things. That's why you're not what? You're not allowed to put a negative down there. What's the other location? Come on. Anyone would like to take a guess? So instead of bottom, you put top. One more location allowed. Yes, General. Yes, the middle or before the whole thing, as if the whole thing is negative. So you write your fraction, and where do you put the minus? Right here. These are the only two locations allowed. No teacher's gonna give you a full mark if you put it where? At the bottom. What would happen with me if you did that? For the first, what's up? You're right. Which, okay. So I was waiting for someone to say that. Good question. Everyone, let's prove all of these three things are the same thing. What's my first thing? I'm gonna divide what by what? Come on. 25 by what? Negative 52. Go ahead. I'll show you. Look, clear. Look, 25 divided by 52 negative. That's how I do it. Okay, let's just remember this number. Negative what? Point what? 0.48. All right. Yeah, they have to be the same. Otherwise, I don't have a job. Okay. Let's do the other one. What was my other thing? Where's the minus? Okay. So 25 with a negative now divided by 52. Sorry. Oh, my bad. The exact same sequence of numbers. What's my last one? 25 divided by 52. And then you make the whole thing what? Negative. So you kind of have to cheat a little bit because you have to do this first. 25 divided by 52. And then you make the whole thing what? Is it the same thing every time? That's my point. All of them are the same, but the looks matter. That's all. Okay? I will never take marks off if you do it with the minus, because to me, mathematically, it is correct. But I will always what? Circle it and comment. But I will not take marks off. But other teachers will. So please always be ready for that. Okay, keep going. What's happening here? What's the thing inside of my bracket which has to be dealt with first? What's happening there? Division. Okay, so let's go with the same line. Negative 4 over 3 plus, and now I have to clean up the inside by multiplying. What does this fraction become? 12, and the 5 goes here. All right, keep going. Equals negative 4 over 3 plus. Do I need common denominator or do I just multiply through? Multiply through. I do need common denominators when you multiply. So what's 9 times 12? 108. 108. And 10 times 5? Okay. Right up to here, and please stop. Can someone tell me what am I doing with these two fractions? Am I multiplying or adding now? I'm adding. When you add, what do you have to make? Common what? Do you really want to make a common denominator with 3 and 50? Because what's the common denominator between 3 and 50? It will be 3 times 50. What's 3 times 50? 150. That's a what? That's a small or a big number? I don't like that. I mean, I could, but I don't really want to start my calculation with a big number. Can I simplify one of those fractions before I do the common denominator? You can always simplify before you do what? Before you do addition or multiply or subtraction. Okay. How can you forget that the problem has this one now? Just imagine that your problem is just this. What number do these two things divide? 108 and 50. Are they both even numbers? They sure are. Great. Go ahead. Just put a what? Just put a divide by 2. 54 for 1. So let's go. Negative 4/3 is untouched. Plus, what's half of 108? 54. What's half of 50? Do you think you can go lower than that? No, you can't. 25 only divides 1, 5, and 25. 54 does not care about any number but 1. All right? Can I now make the what? The common denominator? I don't have anywhere else to go but that. Okay? What's my common denominator now? What's 3 times 25? What's 3 quarters? 75 cents. Hey, 75 is better than 150, right? My number, always go for lower numbers early on. I mean, if you don't notice it or if you can't, don't have the time, that's fine. But when you have the time, it's worth investing. So go ahead. Times 25, times 25, times 3, times 3. All right, we're almost there. Oh, remember, because they're different, the easiest way to make it is just to what? Multiply them through. It will never fail. Okay, what's 4 times 25? What's 4 cents? A dollar, 100. So negative 100 divided by 75 plus 54 times 3, 162 divided by a 75 because that's what I want. Okay. What's gaining $162 and then losing $100 out of them? How much do you still have on you? 62 bucks. Guess what? 62 only divides 1, 2, 31, and 62. 75 does not divide anything combined with that but 1. We are done. Okay, I want to skip one, assign it as homework, which you will see the solution for at like 4 or 5 p.m. today. So which one should I assign as homework? Sorry, which one? This one? All right. By the way, at the end of the day, they end up being the same amount of work. So it really doesn't matter. All right, everyone, let's do this as homework. Okay, so let's do this one. No, what did I say? What did I say? I do not assign homework as a huge list of things. I skip 1 or 2 things, and that, trust me, you need the practice. If, by the way, just so you know, everyone, no matter how good the teacher is, at the end of the day, I'm doing the whole thing. You're merely more or less copying. You only get good when you go home, review, and do a little bit of practice. Just like going to the gym. If I take you and personal train you, I'm lifting. You're not. Okay? So always know that. Okay. What's happening there? Yes, if nothing shows, it's a multiplication sign. Go ahead. Put a small x in here. Small x. Okay? But I still have a bracket, so I have to deal with that first. What's common between 8 and 3? Well, what's 8 times 3? Come on. 8 times 3. 20. No, 20. 24. So go ahead. Times 3, times 3, times 8, times 8. Okay? Let's keep going. 9, negative 9 over 10 times, and I have a bracket. Something plus something. I said 24, or we said 24. All right. What's 3 times 3? 9. 7 times 8? 56. Okay? Keep going. Negative 9 over 10 times. Yeah, times. No need for a bracket because I'm about to clean it up. 9 plus 56 is 60. 56 plus 9 is 60. 65. Sorry, 65 over 24. Do you think 65 and 24 simplify? Sadly, no. 65 divides 1, 5, 13, and 65. 24 does not agree with any of them but 1. All right, it is what it is. Okay, everyone, let's multiply. What's 10? 10 times 4. Sorry, 10 times 24, and this times that. This is 240 because you just added 0. What's 9 times 65? 650 minus 65 is negative 585. Make sense? Can I lower these numbers down? They end in 5s and 0s. They definitely divide what? 5 alive. All right, go ahead. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Keep going. 240 divided by 5 is 50. No, sorry, 40. 48. What's 585? 100 and 117. Do you think we can apply the 3 trick? Do you think we can apply the trick of dividing by 3s? Who remembers what's the trick? What do you just do with the digit? By the way, by the way, always say add the digits, not the numbers. Digits. What's 4 plus 8? Come on. 4 plus 8, 12. Does 12 divide 3? All right. What's 117? 1 plus 1 plus 7, 9. Both of these divide 3. You didn't even have to check. All right. Go ahead. Divide 3. Divide 3. I know what's 48 divided by 3. It's 16. Now, what's 117 divided by 3? That's 36 with a negative. Do you think you can go lower? 36 and 16. What do you call these numbers? Odd or even? Even. All even numbers divide what? 2. Hold on. I agree with you. Everyone, look. I know these are divide 2. Do you think they divide something else bigger? 4. Do they divide anything bigger? Oh, 39. My bad. Thank you. 39. Oh, that changes things. They don't divide 2s anymore. What does this one divide? Come on. What does this divide? 1, 2, 4, 2 4s, which is what? 8. And, okay, what does this one divide? Not as many. 1, 3, 13. Nope, doesn't divide 7. You can try. And 39. Guess what? They don't agree on anything. Yes, what's up? Let me just finish this one. So, are we done with the number? Is the minus placed correctly? Is it in a good spot? Who said no? It's okay. Where is the only bad spot for a minus? At the what? At the denominator. Is it there? No, it's not. We're done. Full mark. Go ahead. Everyone's good? You see, fractions, I'll give you this. Listen, fractions is a lot of work. But come on, it's a lot of easy, quick work. Yeah, lots of steps, but very manageable. They're not that bad thing that some of you might have been led to believe. All right. This one, a very important concept in math. What's this word? How many times have you heard the word solve? All the time. What does the word solve mean? You have something that you want to find the what? The value. There's a missing value. Find it. By the way, can I only use x's for values? Sorry, by the way, what do you call the x, the y, the a? What do you call these things? Starts with a V. Variable. X, anything that is what? A letter, we call it what? Variable or symbol. Who would like to tell me how to solve anything that always looks like this? This one. Raise your hand if you know. It's the easiest kind of what? Of equations I can tell you. Hold on. Raise your hand. I just want to see how many people know or believe they know. Genoa, what would you do? Uh-huh. Okay, so Genoa said you take the equal sign and you put it right here, right? What's another way of saying that? Slightly better, because I want to just focus on a behavior or like a process. Would you like to say it some other way? Okay, Genoa, let me help you out. You move this one here. You didn't have to move the equal. You actually moved something else. You moved the what? This is, think about it. Either instead of moving the minus, sorry, the equal, you just move the what? You move the what? What number? The -8. By the way, never move signs. Move what? Numbers. But when I move the 8, am I just going to move the 8 or the -8? You move the number with its own sign. So this guy switches what? Switches to this side. What's the price of always going across the equal sign? Minus becomes positive, positive becomes negative. Great. So this becomes what now? 5x equals 7, +8. And the rest is just cleaning up. All right. 5x stays the same. What's 7 plus 8? 15. Okay, who knows how to solve this? And I'm asking because people have been taught two different ways of showing it. It's the same thing, but just of showing it. Qasim, how would you do this one? Interesting. Divide like one side or both sides by 5? Both sides. Okay, so Qasim is saying write it this way. Qasim, next step would be like this. Look, everyone. He would write the same equation, but then you would do this, right? Yes. What's your next line after this? What happens to 5 dividing itself? What happens to these things? No, not 0. No. Not 0. They cancel out. By the way, canceling out does not mean what? 0. Canceling out means 5 divided by 5 gives you what? Gives you 1. Technically, you just have 1x now. That's the whole idea. So you just get what? X equals, what's 15 divided by 5? 3. That's one way of showing it. What's the other way? The other way is immediately after getting to that step, you say to yourself, oh, I know what to do now. This one divides this one, which is exactly the same thing as here. But you don't write it that way. You just write like this. You just write in one statement. Do you see what I mean? The difference is clear. Here, you had to show me the process and then the last line. Here, you just show me, oh, this one just goes down here and it divides. What's 15 divided by 5? 3. Guess what? It's the same answer. I don't care which way you show it, as long as you show it exactly either way. Yes, Bahram. Oh, here. Okay. 5 divided by 5 is technically what? 1x. And 15 divided by 5 is 3. That's it. By the way, how can you check that your answer makes sense? How were you always taught that your answer of a value makes sense in the original equation? Janwa? You insert it or plug it back in. Let's do that real quick. By the way, I will never ask you to check. You can always check for your own benefit. What's 5 times 3? 5 times 3. 15. 15 minus 8? Perfect. The equation checks out. Done. That's what it means. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay. Now that's messed up, right? I agree. I'm not gonna lie. This is messed up. However, everyone, there's an easy way to do this. Okay? Here's the easy way. Check this out. All right, pencils down. Let this sink in. Because this is probably one of the, not trickiest, but one of the most inconvenient ones you can be given. Okay? The first thing I'm going to do, everyone, the first thing I'm going to do is put the y's with the what? With the top. So this becomes 5 what? 5y, and this becomes 3y. Okay? So let's go ahead. Let's write this line together. 5y divided by what? Just 6. Subtract what? 3y divided by 4 equals what? Negative 3. Okay, agree with that. Okay, everyone, let's forget this part. Technically, what's happening here? Am I multiplying or subtracting the fractions? What do you need to do when you subtract or add fractions? Make a what? Common denominator. Let's do that. Go ahead. Just this part. What's the common denominator of 6 and 4? By the way, you can say 6 times 4, but there's a smaller number that they both go into. 12. You don't have to do that. You can just say 6 times 4. But then you realize, wait a minute, I can make this 12, and I can make this 12, and it would be the same. If you see it, great. If you don't see it, you can go with 24. But your number's got to be slightly bigger. So go ahead. How do you make a 6 into a 12? You multiply it by 2. So go ahead, multiply this by 2, which means you have to multiply this by 2. 4, you multiply by what? I want to make it 12. 4 times what gives you 12? 4 times 3? 3 times 3. Okay? What's my next line? What's 5y times 2? What's 5y times, not 5 times 2, 5y times 2. 10y. Yeah. 5 times 2 is 10, and the y just stays there. So 10y over what? 12. Subtract what? Come on. 3y times 3. 9 what? 9 y's. 5 by 12 equals what? Okay. See, we're cleaning up nicely. Okay. What's 10y minus 9y? Just that. $10 minus $9. No, you're not adding, you're subtracting. What's 10y minus is what? Is 1y. Do we agree with that? 10y's minus 9y's, you're remaining with 1y. So that means what? 1y everyone, whenever you see something like this in any math course you take, how many people have heard of cross multiplying? Cross multiplying. And that's what's going to save the day. But for cross multiplying, you have to show something. You have to show that there's a what here? Whenever you don't have a fraction, make it a fraction by putting what? 1 under the thing. And then what do you do? What do I always mean when I do this from now on? Cross. Whenever I do this until the end of the course, or in a physics course if you're taking physics with me, whenever I do this, that means what? Cross multiply. Some people like to call crisscross. I like to say cross multiply. What does cross multiply mean? This one multiplies that, and this one multiplies that. What's 1y times 1? What's anything times 1? No, not 1. What's anything times 1? Nope. What's 5 times 1? 5. 6 times 1. X times 1. Negative 3 times 1. So what's anything times 1? The anything itself. No, not 1. 1 is the only thing that doesn't change what it multiplies. It's the other thing. So what's 1y times 1? Just what? 1y. Whenever you multiply 1 by anything, you just get that anything back. That's all. So this is 1y. Who knows what's negative 3 times 12? Negative 3 times 12. Or just 3 times 12. 36 with a negative. If you leave your answer like this, are you incorrect? No, you're not. But there's one thing you don't have to show. Do we ever have to say 1y equals negative 36? No, you can just say what? Y equals 36. We never had to say 1x equals 3. You could have just said what? X equals 3. X equals 3. You never have to say the 1 whenever you what? Whenever you have it. You can show it, but not at the end. Okay. Yes. Sure. Who knows how to do anything like this? What's the first step? Come on, think. I have a number next to a bracket. What do? Multiply. Or what? How many people raise your hand if you heard the word expand? We're going to do a lot of expanding. Maybe not in the few first units, but definitely when we do quadratics and that kind of stuff. What does expand mean? I like to always show this. Look. This multiplies that. This multiplies that. This multiplies that. And this multiplies that. Done. What's negative 2 times a? Negative 2 times a. Just negative 2a. Next. What's negative 2 times negative 3? Positive or negative? Nice. Negative times a negative is positive. And 2 times 3 is 6. Keep going. What's 2 times 1? What's 2 times negative 2a? Very good. What do I do now? I got things mixed up. I don't like that. I like things of the same look to be together. What do I do? Switch, I like that. Or what? What do you do with things? You what? You move them around. How do you move them around? Who would like to tell me how? How do you move things around? I'm not a big fan of the A's and the numbers being split. No, no, no. I like things of the same nature to be together. Uh-huh. Yes. By the way, listen up, everyone. Where is the natural location for variables? On the right-hand side or the left-hand side? Like usually, where do you like your variables, x's or a's, to be? On the right side of the equal or the left side of the equal? On the left side of it. What does that mean? Do I move this one or do I keep it here? Keep it. How about this one? I move it here. How about numbers? Numbers have to go where? On the what? On the right side. So do I move this one or keep it? How about this one? Move it. It jumps there. Nice. By the way, this looks like a 40. Sorry for that. It's actually a 4A. Yes, now we're good. Okay, so what do? We said we're going to move this one with the minus, where? Here. And we're going to move this one with the plus, where? Here. You can always move two things at once. Some teachers told you, no, you have to move one thing each time. Nope, you can always move this way. Yes? Oh, yeah, you're right. That's why I moved it with its own minus, because it will become positive. You're right. Yes. So this one stays the same, minus 2a. But what does it become? Plus 4a's equal. This one stays the same, minus 6. You know this. All right. What's negative 2 plus 4? Or 4 take away 2? 2a's survive. Yes. Okay, hold on. Do you agree that this minus 2a will never be touched? It stays where it is, right? But this one will join it, but it's crossing the equal sign. So it has to become what? Positive. Now, which one wins? A positive 4 or a minus 2 when you add them up? A positive. By how much? By positive 2. Do you see what I mean? Bottom, it's like losing $2 and gaining $4. How much do you still have on you? $2. That's exactly the same concept. Make sense? All right. What's 2 negative 6? 2 negative 6, not 6 negative 2. 4 with a negative. Did we do something like this before? Yes, we did. Same structure. Yeah. I don't care if you show it to me this way or this way. By the way, which one am I a big fan of? I'm usually going to do it this way. I'm going to keep this where it is and just make this go down. So what's my final answer? A equals what divided by what? Yeah. Yes. Minus 4. No minus 4a. A is already being what solved for. So negative 4 divided by, come on, what's 4 divided by 2? 2 with a negative. Check. Done. Okay, last one. Everyone, last one. I'm going to assign half of it as homework. I'm going to start it with you. You finish it. Question for you. I have two fractions equal to each other, and I need to find the value of w. Whenever you have two fractions, everyone, Abdullah, whenever you have two fractions equal to each other, what do you always do? Cross multiply. I don't care what math course you ever take. I don't care if you take physics with me. Whenever you have two fractions equal to each other, what do? Cross multiply. So what does that mean? It means this. It means this one will multiply this one. It means this one will multiply this one. But you have to use brackets. So what do? 4 multiplies what? What does it multiply? What block does it multiply? 2w plus 1. Yes, this one goes with this. Equals 3 multiplies what? W minus 2. It multiplies this block. Does this look similar to something we just did? That. You have to do the lines. Let's do the lines. This multiplies that. This multiplies that. This multiplies that. This multiplies that. What's 4 times 2 W's? 8W. You always have to say 8W because it's not just 4, 2. It's 4 times 2W. What's 4 times 1 with a positive? What's 3 times W? What's 3 times negative 2? And the rest is home.